Hey, good morning. Today's another one of our first fives. So, the truth is, when we look at the words of Jesus throughout the New Testament, we see again and again, he's just really a master storyteller. He tells these incredible stories, and he tells them in such a way they're supposed to be for us a reminder about the way the kingdom of God works. They're to open our eyes to the nature and character of God. And so this story from Matthew chapter 25, honestly, is one that at one level you read it and you're like, it's kind of a cool story that people who don't know they're redeemed by God are redeemed by God. The other part of it is, we read the story and we go, I wonder about that. And so I'm just going to read the story. These are the words of Jesus from Matthew chapter 25, beginning with verse 31. When the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, he will sit on his throne in heavenly glory. All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate the people one from another as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He'll put the sheep on his right and the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "I tell you the truth, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers of mine, you did for me." Then he'll say to those on his left, "Depart from me, you who are cursed, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me." They also will answer, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or needing clothes, or sick, or in prison, and did not help you?" He will reply, "I tell you the truth, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me." Now, at first glance, you read this and you're like, some people are going to get in. You're like, really? I did that for you? What, Jesus, I didn't even know I saw you. What he says in this story, this parable, is so powerful for us. What Jesus says is this: when we see another person, we see him. See, every person is created in the divine image of God. And if we're not careful, we give certain people more value than we give other people. That's not to say that people in our lives don't have more influence, like your parents should have more influence over you than someone else's parents, or you should probably take care of your kids more than you take care of someone else's kids, because obviously, hopefully, they have parents taking care of them. But what he is saying is this: if those other kids don't have parents taking care of them, and you do nothing, why is that? Did you not see me in them? Did you not see that they too are created in the divine image? That person that you rail against, that person that you talk about, that person that you don't help, do we not see that those people are also people who are created in the divine image of God? And what Jesus says in this parable, listen, you're going to say, "I did all these things in your name," and he's going to go, "Yeah, I never knew you. Depart from me." And some of us are going to go, "Jesus, I didn't know it was you." And he's going to go, "Yeah, but you love people really well." And so what he's really getting to in the heart of this is this: that if we truly are followers of Jesus, then we're going to live lives of love. And love does these things. Love feeds the hungry. Love clothes the naked. Love cares for the sick. Love visits people in prison. This is what love does. Love looks like Jesus. And so the question for you and I is, are we sheep or are we goats? Because in his words, we're one or the other. What Jesus is trying to say here is we can live as if we are people who are in. We can love people because God first loved us. Or we can live lives that really are about us. We can say all the right words. We can say a prayer, but if nothing changes in our heart and in our life, then the question remains, and this is what Jesus is getting to: did you ever really decide to follow me? Or did you just say some words sometime? And this for us is the challenge. But here is also the invitation. Love well. Love others. You and I are invited into a life of love, that if we spend our life loving others, what we'll find at the end of the day is Jesus comes to us with open arms and says, you are mine. Look at what you did in my name. Look what you did for me. Or we spend our lives about ourselves. And someday Jesus will go, man, did you forget about me? Did I not matter to you? Did you not recognize that every person you see, they're your brother and sister because they're my kids? Don't you see? And so this is the challenge for us as we look at these words from Jesus. When did we see you this way? And what Jesus says to them is, everyone you see, they're me. And so the question is for you and I, do we see others and love them as Jesus invites us to? May your day be filled with grace and hope and peace and love. And may we know the goodness of God. And may we not only know the goodness of God, but may we be people that bring the goodness of God in whatever situation we find ourselves. It doesn't mean the situation is good. It doesn't mean things in our life are going well. It means we can know goodness in the middle of that. And that's the invitation that Jesus gives to us, to know his kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. May your day be filled with all kinds of love and grace and hope. We'll see you next time.